Who watched What If? Episode 1. I figured, you know what? I was going to do a, quick review like I usually do, but I thought, nah, I'll save it for the show. Might as well. But yeah, like I said, right after I got done with work, I put on What If, first episode, which of course has Peggy Carter as Captain Britain, I guess you could say. Well, not really Captain Britain, but her version of Captain America. Were they calling her Captain Britain? I don't even know. But you know how it is. Basically, the first story. I mean, first off, it starts off great. You have Jeffrey Wright as a watcher, and you have his narration, and the animation, just very beautiful, very beautiful. I'm telling you. When it comes to the animation, and we even saw that when it came to the trailers, I'm like, yeah, the animation, they grade A animation, unique style. It's really cool, really cool. But so then when it came to the show, like I said, Jeffrey Wright doing the narration, just having his voice, he's got that really distinct, really awesome voice to be the watcher. That's absolutely fantastic. It's Captain Carter. That's what it was. Sorry. It's not. I was like, no, it's not Captain Britain. That's a whole other freaking character that apparently Henry Cavill might play. Yeah, no, that's probably not going to happen either. But yeah. So watching the episode, obviously there's an explanation of what's happening, which coming off of Loki, we kind of already get. Like, yeah, one little moment can just totally change, and then of course there's just multiple universes of different things. I mean, that can make that could drive you insane, especially if you get a little too. You start thinking about that shit. It's like, yeah. I mean, the whole multiverse concept. I mean, literally, like every decision, every little tiny decision that you were to make is like its own universe. There's a universe where my mouse moves up that way. That's a whole other universe. But yeah, with this one, so when it comes to the story of Captain Carter, I mean, obviously, yeah, something happens. I won't give any spoilers just in case you guys haven't watched it. But something, yeah, does happen where that's the exact moment that something changes, and then she ends up getting the serum and stuff like that. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I mean, it seems like what they were. I will say this though. It seems like when it comes to, I almost thought after the show, or actually when the show was happening, I'm like, man, this is almost this show. I think is going to be the MCU's version of nostalgia, because the MCU is still relatively fresh, new, not really, maybe not fresh, but I'm just saying it's relatively new. Like, we haven't gotten different versions of these characters. Like when it comes to DCU, and not my Batman, not my Superman. I want my Superman to smile and all this stuff. Why Batman kill? All those complaints. And then, of course, when we get some of this stuff and it's all nostalgia. I think this movie is going to kind of do that, because when you watch this episode, they take a lot of elements from Captain America, the First Avenger, of course. A lot of elements, story points. There's a lot of things in there that it's like, all right, remember this? Remember that? Well, this is a little bit different. Remember this? A little bit different. Remember when they talked about this? Man, but it's a little different this time, So, I don't know. It's, I just kind of wonder, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be kind of like that. And it's like, okay, understandable. You kind of just went, all right, we changed it up, but we're also going to just kind of do the same story as the First Avenger. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. You got Red Skull. We got certain story beats that happen. There's Bucky right there. There's the train. Like I said, I'm not going to give any too many spoilers. And then, of course, Steve is there, but as still little Steve. So I thought that was kind of cool. And whoever does voice Steve Rogers does very much sound like Chris Evans. It's kind of weird because everyone else is the actual actor. Sebastian Stan, Dominic Cooper, Stanley Tucci comes back. I mean, it's kind of funny how everybody is the same, but not Steve Rogers, not Chris Evans. But the voice talent they got from him does sound very much like him. So it doesn't really take you out of it, which is good. They got, it seems like they're going to have some good voice actors that sound like the actors that are there. And I still kind of wonder about that too. So you guys are still arguing about Aquaman stuff, aren't you? I love it. I'm here talking about a whole different universe in the multiverse, and you guys are still talking about Aquaman. It's okay. But anyways, but I enjoyed it. Like I said, I do, it was just kind of like, all right, but it's going to still follow the same story. It's going to be interesting what they do when it comes to the other stories, and very much all of that. And, it can get a little cheesy, but it's animation. It's a little cartoony. It's whatever, but I dug it. I really dug it. Like I said, the animation's pretty great, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else they do with it. I mean, obviously, when we have T'Challa, that's going to be part of Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see all what they do with these characters and the stories that they go on. And I think it was a strong opening. They were like, okay, we have Captain Carter. It's going to very much be in line of what happened with the first Captain America movie, which, you know, a lot of people need to talk about that first Captain America movie a little bit more, because I think that's, you know, that's in more of the top tier. It's not as good as Winter Soldier, of course, but I think it's up there. It was a good introduction to Captain America, but there's a lot of interesting beats that happen within this, and I really recommend it if you want something a little bit different. You want something a little bit different, a little bit fresh when it comes to the MCU, watch What If. I totally recommend it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next and how it all comes about. Multiverse, what a concept. Too bad DC just is like, all right, we got it, multiverse. But then it's like, all right, so why can't we have, you know, some more of this? I'm rubbing myself again, I know.